Okay, picture this. You're in Andhra Pradesh, maybe having your morning chai, right? And then, bam, you remember that property tax bill, that overdue one?
Ah, yes. And the thought of those interest charges starts creeping in.
Exactly. It adds this little bit of stress to the morning routine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially thinking about how quickly that interest can pile up.
It absolutely can. It's a common worry, that feeling of a deadline hanging over you, particularly with taxes.
But, well, there's actually some pretty good news on that front. Kind of like finding an extra bit of sugar for your chai when you thought you were out.
Ooh!
Do tell.
The Andhra Pradesh government has pushed the deadline for that 50% interest waiver on property tax arrears. It's now April 30th, 2025.
Ah, okay, that's significant. So more breathing room for people.
Yeah, a lifeline, you could say. A chance to sort out those dues without the full sting of the interest. So that's what we're diving into today, unpacking this whole extension. Right. We want to get into the details, what it means practically, who it affects, and just make sure everyone has the clear facts. Keep it informative, but hopefully engaging too.
Definitely. So let's be super clear up front. This waiver, it's for overdue property tax, right?
Direct.
For your house, maybe a shop you own, or even if you have a vacant plot of land.
As long as it's within what they call an urban local body, or ULB.
Right, those are the municipal corporations, the regular municipalities, and the Nagar Panchayats, too. So basically, most towns and cities.
Precisely. And it covers the dues for the financial year 2024-25. That's the key period we're talking about here.
Okay, so 2024-25 dues. Got it. Now, why the extension? Was the original deadline just, too soon?
Well, that seems to be exactly it. The original cutoff was March 31st, 2025.
Okay.
But the actual announcement about this waiver, it didn't even come out until March 25th.
Whoa, wait. That's only, what, 6 days?
Barely a week. And then on top of that, there were a couple of public holidays smack bang in the middle of that window.
Oh, that makes it really tricky. Like trying to get something urgent done right when everything's closed for a festival. Almost impossible.
Exactly. You can imagine people trying to figure out the details, get the payments sorted, all in that incredibly short, holiday-interrupted time frame. It was quite inconvenient, putting it mildly.
Yeah, like setting up a fantastic movie premiere, but then having a power cut right as it starts.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the government realized, okay, maybe that wasn't the best timing.
That seems to be the sensible conclusion they reached. Which brings us to how this waiver actually functions.
Right, the mechanics. Is it complicated?
Actually, no. It's surprisingly straightforward, which is always welcome with these things. It's a one-time deal.
Okay.
If you pay all your outstanding property tax, that means any arrears from past years, plus the full amount for 2024-25.
All of it?
All of it, yes. In one single payment before this new deadline of April 30th, 2025, then the government knocks off 50% of the interest that's built up.
Just like that. No hidden catches. No, tiny print somewhere.
Nope. Pay the principal tax owed, arrears and current, and you get half the interest waived. Simple as that.
Okay, that sounds genuinely helpful. But, let's address the bigger question someone might have. Why should I really prioritize property tax anyway? Isn't it just another bill?
That's a fair point. It can feel like that sometimes, just another expense.
Yeah.
But honestly, property taxes are, well, they're kind of the lifeblood of your local municipality. They fund so much of what we take for granted.
Like what specifically?
Think about the streetlights on your road, the upkeep of those roads themselves, maybe patching potholes, maybe bigger repairs, and the garbage collection services, all those essential local things.
Oh, right. So the money collected by the local ULB corporation or municipality actually comes back to us in the form of these services.
Directly. It's what allows them to operate and provide the basics that make our towns and cities function day to day.
Makes sense. So ignoring those bills, letting the arrears build up, that's not just a personal finance issue then?
Well, it starts as one, certainly. That accumulating interest, it can become a real headache, like a persistent problem that just keeps growing if you ignore it. A real wallet crusher over time.
Yeah, I can see that. Those interest charges just keep ticking up, turning maybe a manageable amount into something daunting.
Exactly. And that's why this waiver is such a good opportunity. It's not just about saving a bit of cash now, though that's great. It's really a chance to, reset. Get rid of that nagging weight of past dues and stop that interest clock.
Get a fresh start, financially speaking.
Yeah.
And let's be real, saving money always feels good, right? It's like getting an unexpected bonus. Peace of mind is valuable too.
Absolutely. Peace of mind is a huge part of it.
Now, speaking of money, I saw some figures about the tax collection in AP for this past year, 2024-25. Pretty impressive, actually.
Oh, yeah. What did you find? Tax data can tell quite a story.
Get this. The state collected 2,213.61 crore in property taxes.
Wow, that's a substantial number. Over 2,200 crore.
Right. And it works out to nearly half, 49.46% of their annual target.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. It's a 30% increase compared to the year before.
A 30% jump. That's huge. That suggests, well, either much better compliance from people or much more effective collection by the authorities, or probably a bit of both.
That's what I thought. And just to put that amount in perspective, 2,213 crore. That could build quite a few flyovers in busy cities, couldn't it? Or seriously boost funding for schools.
Easily. It represents significant investment potential for public infrastructure and services. And there's another angle to this improved collection, too, isn't there? Something about central grants.
Yes, exactly. Because the collection was so much stronger, a massive 106 out of the 123 ULBs in Andhra Pradesh qualified for grants from the 15th Finance Commission this time around.
106. That's fantastic. Because I remember the previous year, the number was tiny. Was it just a handful?
Got it. Only 4 qualified last year. 4. So going from 4 to 106 is a massive leap.
It really is.
Yeah.
And those finance commission grants are critical for ULBs, aren't they? They provide funds for, well, all sorts of local projects.
Things like improving water supply systems, developing local parks, maintaining public spaces, stuff that really improves the quality of life.
It just shows that direct link, doesn't it? Pay your taxes, your local body performs better, it qualifies for more central funds, and that money gets reinvested locally. It's a virtuous cycle.
Totally. Now, we should probably mention the person who actually announced this extension, right? Give credit where it's due.
Absolutely. Who was the official behind it?
That would be S. Suresh Kumar. He's the principal secretary of the Municipal Administration and Urban Development Department.
Right. Okay.
And his reasoning for the extension was pretty much what we discussed, acknowledging that the original March 31st deadline, announced so late with holidays in between, was just, well, impractical for many people.
It shows a level of responsiveness, which is good to see. And he didn't just talk about the timing issue, did he? He framed it in a broader context, too.
He did. He pointed out that this waiver isn't just about saving individuals money. It's also aimed at boosting the state's overall revenue collection.
Ah, makes sense. More people paying up, even with a waiver, means more funds overall.
Exactly. And those extra funds can then be plowed back into developing infrastructure in cities like Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam, Tirupati, better roads, cleaner streets, maybe even improved bus stops.
So his message was kind of like, paying your tax, especially now with this waiver, is an investment back into your own community.
Pretty much. Which is a nicer way to think about it than, say, the usual feeling about taxes, which can sometimes feel like, I don't know, watching paint dry.
Or maybe untangling a really stubborn knot in your kite string.
Huh. Yeah, exactly. Not usually something you look forward to.
Which is why this waiver feels like a pleasant surprise,
Yeah.
Like finding that forgotten 500 note in your pocket you mentioned earlier. A little unexpected win.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, for listeners thinking, right, I need to do this, what are the actual steps? Let's break it down practically.
Okay, step 1. Check your dues. You need to know exactly what you owe. Dig out that property tax notice if you have it filed away somewhere.
What if you can't find it?
No problem. Most ULBs have websites where you can check online, or you can just visit their local office, find out the total arrears plus the 2024-25 amount.
Okay, find the total, then.
Step 2, do the math. And remember, this is crucial. The 50% waiver is only on the interest part, not the main tax amount, the principal.
Right. So, quick example. If my tax is $10,000 and the interest is $2,000.
You still pay the full Euro 10,000 tax, but the interest payment drops from 2,000 down to 1,000. So your total payment is 11,000 and you've saved 1,000.
Got it. Pay the principal, pay half the interest, then what?
Step 3, pay it all in one go. This is non-negotiable for the waiver. You have to clear the entire outstanding amount arrears and current dues in a single lump sum payment, no installments.
One payment. Clean slate. Okay, where can people actually make this payment?
Several options usually. Your local ULB office will have payment counters. And some places, like I think Greater Visakhapatnam Municipal Corporation, are even keeping counters open on weekends leading up to the deadline.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. Plus, check if they partner with any banks, or even better, if they have an online payment portal. That's often the easiest way.
Makes sense. And the final step.
Step 4, and maybe the most important, don't wait. April 30th feels like it's a way off, but time has a habit of vanishing, like sand slipping through your fingers on a Vizag beach.
Huh. True. Life gets busy, maybe the mango season distracts you.
Exactly. Get it done sooner rather than later. Avoid that last-minute rush, make sure you get the savings, and honestly, just get it off your mind.
Solid advice. Avoid the stress, secure the discount. And just to circle back quickly on the community impact.
Yes, let's, because it's easy to forget that wider picture.
When you pay, you're directly funding improvements in your own area. We saw those great figures from places like Kurnool hitting 75% of their target and Vizianagaram collecting over 38 crore.
And that money doesn't just disappear. It goes into tangible things, maybe ensuring cleaner water, fixing up local parks, making streets safer and cleaner. It benefits everyone.
It's that positive loop we mentioned. Better collection leads to more central grants, which leads to more local development. It's about being part of that positive cycle.
Well said. Now, before we wrap up, should we quickly tackle any potential myths or misunderstandings about this waiver?
Good idea. Let's bust some myths. Myth number 1. It's some kind of trick to get me to pay. I'll end up paying more somehow.
Definitely false. It's a genuine 50% saving on the accrued interest if you meet the conditions paying the full principal tax by April 30th. No tricks, just savings.
Okay. Myth number 2. This doesn't apply to me. I'm sure I don't owe anything.
Well, it's always worth a quick double check. Even if you think you're fully paid up, sometimes an old arrear might have slipped through the cracks. A quick check online or at the ULB office costs nothing and ensures you don't miss out if you do happen to owe something. Better safe than sorry, right?
Absolutely. And myth number 3. They'll probably extend it again. I'll wait.
That's risky thinking. While we can't predict the future, the official word is that this is a one-time measure. These kinds of waivers aren't typically extended repeatedly. Waiting past April 30th means you'll almost certainly miss out on the 50% interest reduction.
So the deadline is firm as far as we know. Take action before April 30th.
Precisely.
All right, so to sum it all up, the Andhra Pradesh government's 50% interest waiver on overdue property taxes is on until April 30th, 2025.
Pay your full outstanding tax principal arrears and current year in one go by then, and you save half the interest.
It saves you money, it helps your community through better funding for local services, and it gives you that bit of financial peace of mind.
It really is a win-win. So whether you're listening in Vijayawada, Tirupati, Vizag, Guntur, Kurnool, anywhere across AP,
this opportunity is there for you. Don't let it slip away. Check your dues, figure out the payment, and get it sorted before that deadline.
it's one of those admin tasks that actually feels good to complete, knowing you've saved money and done your bit.
Definitely. It's a straightforward way to handle one piece of life's admin and, contribute positively. So here's a final thought to leave you with. Imagine if a really large number of property owners across the state actually take advantage of this. What kind of collective impact could that boost in timely revenue have on our towns and cities over the next few years? What visible improvements might we see? Something to think about.